dystrophy, just so we can get this out of the way at the beginning. Basically, this means that my muscles are slowly and constantly dying. But it's okay, because I'll only be here for 5 minutes, so don't worry about anything. I mean, unless, of course, I decided to do some interpretive dance. Just kidding, I'd fall, and we'd all be really sad, and it wouldn't be very funny, and they wouldn't have invited me anyway. No, but seriously, people say a lot of really fucked up shit to people with disabilities or like diseases and stuff. So what used to really piss me off was the whole hero thing, right? People would be like, oh my God, Rebecca, you're so amazing. Be like, well, yeah, well, why do you think that? And they'd be like, well, I mean, you just get up each day and you get yourself dressed and you face the world despite everything. And I think, fuck, they're watching me get dressed? I mean, seriously, it requires some death-defying stunts for myself to get me dressed in the morning. And there is an occasional inappropriate use of furniture and coat hangers. Zippers are harder than you think. But it's certainly not heroic. It's not pretty, but it's not heroic exactly. But, then I started to think maybe they were on to something. So I started to do some reading about superheroes. And I'm pretty sure I might actually be one. Because here's what I figured out so far. So Spider-Man got bit by a genetically mutated spider, and it turned him into Spider-Man. I have a genetic mutation that's turning me into a ragdoll. Superman was abandoned on this earth by his parents and adopted by some farmers. I was a latchkey kid with a father who's a rabbi. Wonder Woman left a planet of strong and powerful women where she was a warrior to live on Earth and be a nurse for some dude who couldn't take care of himself. I left my budding career in hospitality and my rich fiance to become a social worker who's married to a social worker. By all reasonable accounts, I'm a superhero. I'm still working out the whole superpower thing, although my mother has decided that it is destroying her life in a single bound, pissing her off despite all reasonable efforts. And basically I think that really started when I first came out to her. So I decided to come out to her at the Olive Garden, because their slogan there is, when you're here, you're family. So I figured it would either go down like the Cosby Show, where everyone cheered and said they loved me anyway, or everyone there was actually gay too. So anyway, I go to the Phoenix or the Lambda Rising bookstore and I get all the books on the P-Flag reading list for my mother, and I hand them to her one by one, explaining to her that I'm gay, but it's okay because we have books. And I show her the cover and I tell her what the book says, and I pile them up in front of her until she's sitting behind a gigantic stack of books, sobbing. And all of a sudden, I look around and realize that we are surrounded by the entire wait staff of the Olive Garden singing happy birthday. Because they figured that if there was a mother and daughter having dinner together and one of them was crying, it was clearly the mother's birthday. My mother figured I had used my superpower and was trying to destroy her life because I got them all to sing happy birthday for my very first gay birthday. Now, I didn't really have any superpowers, although I could have used them when I was in elementary school. So I was the only Jewish kid in my school, so every morning there was this kid, this big kid, much bigger than all the other kids, waiting for me at the little coat closet, and he'd be like, "Let me see your horns." And if you don't know the whole horn thing, so there was this mistranslation of the Bible many, many years ago that said Moses had horns coming out of his head. It actually said there was light emanating from Yeah, anyway, so the horn thing kind of stuck.
That's okay.
So this kid would be like, show me your horns. So I would just roll my eyes and walk away. And then one day, there wasn't one, there were two kids. And I got a little nervous. They were big. So the one is like, show me your horns. And I just roll my eyes. And the other one was like, I know why I can't see your horns. Because you filed them down this morning. And I looked at him square in the eye. I had 5 at this time, mind you. I look him square in the eye and I say, no, you anti-Semitic jackass. We don't file them. We get them done. Thank you. I'm Rebecca Block.